Welcome to the Pacific Coast Cutting Horse Association. Hi, I'm Randy Corley. Today we're going to see what it's like to step up and to compete against some of the best riders and horses in the nation. And maybe, together, we'll learn something. But one thing I know for sure is that when you see what these horses and riders are really all about, you'll know that the Pacific Coast Cutting Horse Association is second to none. You know, on every event I've ever seen, a horse and a rider communicate with a good bit and a strong set of reins. Then with a little added leg pressure, you can control the turning, the stopping, the acceleration, and the balance. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you took away the reins? Would that horse still give 100%? The object of cutting is to cut or to separate a cow away from the herd. Once the cut's been made, the rider must drop their hand and give the horse free rein. Then the horse alone must keep that cow from returning. The requirement that a cutting horse perform without the use of reins makes cutting one of the most intense of all equestrian sports. Today, cutters compete for nearly $20 million, but it wasn't always that way.
Cutting really is sort of a dramatization of some real work, and it's pretty close to it. But when the very beginning, when the cutting horse first started, what he was a pretty special horse in a cowboy string because he would work a cow. And they'd have to gather cattle, and they'd make a big circle, and you'd have a big circle horse to go out there and gather them. He'd have to have a lot of stamina. But when they got all the cattle together and all the different ranchers running their cattle together on this open range, well, they'd have to sort out the cattle. There's mine over here, and yours in that herd over there, and Joe's over here in a third herd. So they'd get their special horse, and they'd bring him in there, and they'd sort out all these cattle, and they'd part pairs, and they'd get 3 different herds going, and the horse that they used to do that on, he was their cutting horse, and he was special to them.
Back then, things were pretty simple. No rules, regulations, or stopwatches. But now cutting has evolved into a highly sophisticated sport where even a split-second mistake may cost the winning run.
Cutting starts with a herd of cattle maintained by 2 herd holders. Horse and rider enter the herd and separate a cow. 2 turnback horses out front help contain the cow in a favorable working area, but only the horse and rider are judged. Each horse enters the arena with 70 points. From there, they are penalized or awarded points accordingly. Once a cow is separated, the rider must drop the reins and not pick them up again until it's time to get another cow. Cutting horses have been specifically bred to possess the instinct necessary to work cattle. It's been said that nearly any horse can be trained to stop when a cow stops and turn when the cow turns. But only the truly great horses have the desire to perform and the instinct to anticipate. Watch closely, and you'll see that the moves of a great cutting horse perfectly imitates those of the cow, almost like looking in a mirror.
Thanks for taking the time to become better acquainted with the Pacific Coast Cutting Horse Association. We hope you've enjoyed meeting some of the horses and many of the outstanding members, but most of all, we hope we have a chance to see you somewhere down the road, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see you in the show pen.